What's up everyone, Bon Gittin Jr. here, and welcome to the RTR Lab. Behind me is the Ford Mustang Mach-E 1400. This, without a doubt, is our Halo project. But I wanted to take a little bit of time today, give you guys a walk around of the vehicle and talk to you about some of the specs. So this vehicle was built off of a Mach-E unibody. However, now most all of the panels that you see are carbon. For obvious reasons, lightweighting, strength. Most all of the carbon was made in an autoclave. So moving down, obviously you can see a lot of really beautiful carbon work. The entire front fascia is carbon. Ford Performance did a ton of the aero work. Everything was done in CFD. As you can see, massive canards, huge front splitter. All the ducting that you see is for functional cooling. This vehicle is a first of its kind. It is extremely high powered. It's got a 56 kilowatt hour battery and puts out about 1,400 horsepower and about 2,000 foot-pounds of torque with 7 motors. It's frankly obnoxious and one of the most unbelievable things I've ever been behind the wheel of. Holy sh**, that is insane.
That is ignorant.
That is ignorant, bro. So in the front, we have 3 axial flux style motors. They are directly connected to a Winner's quick change differential. This car does not have a transmission. It is completely separate front to rear. So this allows us to fine tune our final drive based on whatever activity we're doing. And beyond that, just a very simple functional setup, standard spline sway bar for easy adjustment and swapping. The steering is fully electric. So it's a fully hydraulic over electric pump, which is needed to keep up with all the inputs, especially in drifting. There's multiple setups for this car. These are our slicks, 18 by 13 all the way around. And these are actually the same tires that you would see used in Le Mans in the LMP1 class. Super sticky, super nasty, and yeah, quite a lot of fun. So as far as the setups go, this car was dreamed up to be able to drift, road race, time attack, give ride-alongs and put smiles on faces, all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and or front-wheel drive if you ever needed that. And it's pretty phenomenal how it works. So the rear of the car stays the same. Between going, as you can imagine, between going from drift to road race, some sway bar changes, a couple damping changes. But the front, we actually have a completely separate set of front control arms and steering arms that we basically swap out. When in all-wheel drive, the steering arms only allow so much angle to make sure that we stay within the ranges that the CVs were designed to work in. When we go to rear-wheel drive, we actually pull the front axles out, leave the cups in, and change our lower control arms and steering pickup points, as well as steering arm or tie rod, which will allow the car to have a massive amount of steering angle. I think a little bit over 60 degrees is what we're able to achieve. So moving on the interior, the first thing you see when you open the door is more beautiful carbon. So we've got basically carbon overlays of what the production, inspired by the production interior, a full carbon overlay of the production dash. We've even got the production Mach-E touchscreen in there. It's got a handbrake, which is connected to an electric switch that when you pull the handbrake, it disconnects the motors so that you don't damage anything, locks the rear tires, and then you obviously can hop right back on the throttle. The other thing that really pops out, and we wanted to show, everybody, when you pop the hood of an ICE engine, you see the engine and all the wires. Well, this obviously doesn't have that in the front area, but when you get into the interior, you see this beautiful plexiglass piece we made that is showing off the inverters. the 3 in the front, the 4 in the back. Those effectively control all of the power going out to the motors. So they're directly connected to the 56 kilowatt hour, 700 volt battery that's in this vehicle. There's also, you'll see the DC to DC inverter, which basically takes those 700 volts and converts them to 12 volt to run all of the 12 volt system, all the fans, the Motec, all the lighting, all of those things, all runs off of the main battery through that DC to DC converter. For this vehicle has been an incredible collaboration. We work with Drive.io, who's our drivetrain partner from Latvia. Kristaps and his team have been, frankly, thought we were a bit crazy originally when we mentioned what we wanted to do, how many different things it had to do, but they were up to the task. And, between our team, Ford Performance, and them, we've really had a great team of checks and balances and challenging each other. And it's been a lot of fun. So one of my favorite views of this car is the rear. It's so aggressive and so mean. And when I look at it, it just screams functionality, cooling, and awesome. The wing, first of all, is just obviously massive. I mean, I've been told I can do pull-ups on it, although I'm nervous. However, I do know that it handles 2,600 pounds of downforce. So I have no doubt, but if I break it, I would be sad. The rear diffuser, obviously you see this, it's massive. If you know what you're looking at, you know this is something extremely special. I'm not gonna tell you all the secrets, but just know it's a badass piece. In the rear, behind the rear tires, you can see again, obviously we've widened the car significantly, and that is about all that I have to share with you at this moment. I'm just super pumped to have this car out and revealed, and I cannot wait to travel it all over the world, put smiles on faces with it, create cool content, get people in the passenger seat, and do some really fun things that have never been seen before with an electric vehicle. Keep an eye out. We'll hope to see you out there soon. Whoa! Oh yeah, and in case you're wondering what these donut marks on the floor are, we're gonna show you that right now.